Welcome to the Singha Beer Grand Slam of Darts. I'm Dan Dawson from On The Wire at the Wolverhampton Civic Hall. As always, I am joined by Rod Harrington. Rod, what a night of quarter-final action we have had. Rod? Rod? Biscuit? Nah, it ain't working.
Of the treble, it's too big, it's non-standard, it's literally laughable.
Welcome to the Singha Beer Grand Slam of Darts. This is On The Wire. I'm Dan Dawson, and the eagle-eyed amongst you may have spotted there's no Rod Harrington tonight. We've got Jamie Shaw from Live Darts joining us, and we are going to start on another cracking night of quarter-final action with Phil the Power Taylor.
Listen up.
Yes, all right, Phil. I'm running out of words to describe the man. A 16-3 victory over Michael Smith. Just steamrolling the former world youth champion. It's as if he had his name on his naughty list from losing to him over Christmas at Ali Pali. He is through to the semi-finals. Dave Allen, our man, caught up with him after the match.
But I was surprised Michael, was just throwing a few lazy darts. Oh, he was, and I'm a bit shocked with him.
You ended up with 107 average. Did it feel like a performance like that? Because once you got on that roll, you couldn't stop you.
I mean, I wasn't going to let Michael off the hook, even when I was like 14 or 15 up. That lad's capable of coming back against you because he's done it before. I've been in front before with him, and he can fight back. It depends on his mindset. His mindset wasn't right tonight. So, I don't know what was the matter with him. I really don't know. He just kept saying, I kept snatching, and that's all he said. I'm snatching my last dart. That's, I think, just pure pressure. I think anyway. But I said to him, you've got years ahead yet. He's got loads to learn. And if anybody's going up there hitting 107, 108 averages, then you've got to deal with it. Michael Van Gamen deals with it. Barney deals with it. Adrian Lewis deals with it. It's something that you learn. It's another tool in your box, and he hasn't got that tool yet.
Well, 107 average from the 16-time world champion Phil the Power Taylor, fully 21 points clear of his opponent. Very rare you see that. Jamie, it was vintage Taylor, wasn't it?
Yeah, an absolutely merciless performance from Taylor tonight, Dan. 13 legs in a row, and what impressed me about him was he just played the board, the ultimate professional that he is. He didn't let Michael's capitulation affect his own game.
Yeah, the thing is with Michael Smith, even though he is winning tournaments and doing very well on the tour, this is his first TV quarter-final. You've got to remember that. Yeah, I mean, the majority of the games he plays on the European Tour and the Pro Tour are best of 11 and best of 31 in his first televised quarter-final is a whole different ball game, especially against Phil Taylor. There's bound to be nerves. And what he's got to do now is dust himself down. Obviously, the events are coming thick and fast at this stage of the season. He's got the Players' Championship finals and the World Championships. He can't let this result affect him, and if he brings his A game to those events, he could be a major contender. Yeah, certainly could. Even Phil says, you've heard the interview there, that Michael will learn. I'm sure he will. It is Phil the Power Taylor through to the semi-finals of the Singha Beer Grand Slam of Darts, and he is going to face Mervyn King. The King seeing off the bullet, Stephen Bunting, a 16-9 victory. A pretty tight game, really. It was just the right shot at the right time from Mervyn King. The bullet knocked out, and Dave Allen spoke to Mervyn after the match.
This is your third successive major TV semi-final. What can you put down to the form at the moment?
Consistency in my finishing, really, to be fair. My scoring's okay. It was a lot better there than it had been, and we are getting better and better and better as it goes. So, who knows?
You're really getting used to being here on a Sunday as well.
Yeah. Normally at home, I'm cuddled up with Tracy on the sofa watching the Sunday, but I'm here to participate this time. So let's hope I can make it worthwhile and give the viewers at home a real nice semi-final to watch.
Well done tonight.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Mervyn King, happy to be here on a Sunday. A happy Mervyn King is a dangerous Mervyn King, and he's in the form of his life at the minute. You only have to look at the past major tournaments, a quarter-final, semi-final, final. Follow that trajectory, he's going to go and win it, isn't he? Yeah, very much so. He's been the epitome of consistency over the past few months, Dan. I mean, another 95 average tonight, and when Bunting was missing those doubles, he was punishing, for example, that 1-2-4 big checkout. And yeah. But in terms of Bunting, I mean, he's gone out in the quarterfinals here. He's shown what he's about these last few weeks. And he's shown what he's about. He's representing the BDO, but he's here in the PDC, and he's been pulling up trees for the last 11 months.
Yeah, very, very dangerous. But I mean, the difference with Stephen is on the BDO, he was used to dominating. You can't afford at this level to have an off day, and that's what he did tonight, and he got punished.
Well, look, another cracking night of quarter-final action. We're down to 4 players. We're going to slow things down here on the wire now, though. We're going to have a little story read to us by the soporific tones of PDC referee Russ Bray.
The life and times of Richie Burnett. So once upon a time, Richie Burnett was on his way to a darts tournament. He was staying in an hotel, and when he got to his room, he was hungry. Hank Marvin, actually. Thankfully, he brought something along specially.
I love the pot noodle, me.
There was just one problem. He did not have a kettle to boil any water. What was Richie to do? What a dilemma. Then, suddenly, he had an idea.
Richie, you're a genius. I can just use the hot water out of the radiator.
And that is exactly what he did. Pot noodle a la radiator.
That is tidy.
And he lived madly ever after.
Well, we are back in Betting Corner with Neil Andrews from 666Bet, our betting partners at the Singha Beer Grand Slammer Darts, going into the final day. And we've got 2 semis and then the final. Talk us through what you've got for us, Neil.
Yeah, we talked through the first one. Huybrechts, the birthday boy. We make Huybrechts the slight favourite, 8-11, even though on the head-to-head, Chisnell's actually winning by 8-3. They've played 11 times. Chisnell, I think, has won the last 3. So, normally you would say Chisnell's favourite, but on the basis of the quarterfinals, Huybrechts blew away Van Gerwen. He had the 9-darter, which we paid out on, obviously. And also we had Chisnell, who kind of had to really, really dig in and come back against Keegan Brown, and he won that very well. If he comes back and plays his normal game, I'll favour Chizzy. But, Huybrechts on his form of the life at the moment, he could win that and win it quite easily to go through to the final. Now, the other game, which judging by the font is the big one, is Taylor versus King. They've played 37 times and Taylor has won 80% of those. So he's got an 80% win rate over Mervyn King. But as you mentioned before, Mervyn King is in the form of his life. He is beating people he shouldn't beat. So, he could beat Taylor. But everyone, the clever money will still be on Phil Taylor because he just, blew Smith away 16-3. You don't do that in a quarterfinal normally of a major championship, do you? But there he did. So for me, I would actually fancy a Chisnell-Taylor final. And I only say that because earlier this week I helped Chizzy pick his new walk-on song. So I'm just going to take the fame and the claim for that one.
Oh, you absolutely love it if he goes all the way and wins this one on Sunday here at the Singha
It's the
Beer
lucky
Grand
song.
Slammer.
It's the lucky song.
Of course. Well, look, you've already heard from Russ Bray. You read that lovely little story about Richie Burnett just a few moments ago. And he's the subject of our Twitter takeover. And John McDonald is back for it.
I'm back. Yes, indeed, I'm back in action. It's the Twitter takeover coming to you from the main stage here at the Grand Slam of Darts. And look who's joined me. It is the voice, the greatest referee the world's ever seen. Excuse me, can I get to the greatest referee? Here he is. Thank you, Russ. Good to see you. How are you, mate?
I'm really good, thanks, yeah.
Okay, these are all the tweets that people have sent us. They're questions they want to ask you. So I'll ask the question, you can give us the answer. Matt Oswin, what is the best game you've ever been involved in on the stage?
Oh dear, that's a really, really good question. Probably the Barney Taylor final, Park Taylor final. Certainly a way up there with it. I've been in so many.
World finals, right? Okay. Keith Deller, how did you get your nickname, the Governor?
I think he gave it to me.
Didn't even know it was your nickname. I thought it was. Scott Christie. How many Strepsils do you take before a match?
None.
And he doesn't smoke, all right?
Absolutely, yeah.
PDC Fan 180. What is the strangest thing that's ever happened to you on the stage?
Probably a dart coming out and hit me in the knee, I suppose. That would be the strangest, but above and beyond that, not too much happens with the equipment side of everything.
Tom Goodall, what's the biggest mistake you've ever made on stage?
Oh, what one? Good one. Probably the best one I relate is when World Final at Circus 7 with Colin Lloyd. And he'd gone up there and gone 2019, and I thought the other dart had gone behind the 19 in the 7. So I've called 46. Colin Lloyd's put his hands up. I thought, oh no, I've made a mistake here. I've second guessed it. When I've looked, it's actually in the 19. I went, sorry, 38. Forgot about the 20 at the top. I said, sorry, 58. So yeah, we did in the end, and someone asked me very, very politely to go to a very well-known optician's to get my eyes sorted.
Hey, but come on, there's a lot of pressure on you guys, adding up, checking the markers. You know, I mean, it's all a lot to be done, right? So you're forgiven.
One other on that one I can do. I mean, obviously, it's well documented. I missed a double 12 at Taylor's in Gibraltar, which I thought it was in. I just had my eyes lasered anyway, so I got my excuse. But in all honesty, it wasn't a double 12 that I called it a game shot. So, you know, that was a bit of a howler, but
we forgive you.
Thank you, darling.
Right. The Cheese Diarist. Which 3 cheeses would you have on your ideal cheese board?
Oh dear, what great question. Cheddar, it'd be Gorgonzola, and Danish Blue.
There we are. You see, he would have 3 cheeses.
All the valuable questions asked here at On The Wire. So going into the final day of the Singha Beer Grand Slam of Darts, 2 semi-finals and a final. Chisnell v Huybrechts, Taylor v King. I guess, Jamie, it's going to be a case of whether you've got faith that Huybrechts can continue that incredible form that saw him beat MVG, and whether you've got faith that Mervin's just going to carry on with this brilliant form he's shown for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in for a fascinating finish. I mean, many people will say it's Phil Taylor to lose from here, but he's got 3 competitors that are playing at close to, if not at the top of their game. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it could be an absolutely belting final day. Thank you very much, Jamie Shaw from Live Darts. As he says, Taylor is looking imperious, unstoppable, but Huybrechts, Chisnell and King all have the games to beat him. Isn't that right, Rod? No question, Dan.
Of the treble, it's too big, it's non-standard, it's literally laughable.